Welcome to another exciting episode of Newspaper Review and Analysis on our darling station, Poly TV, Ilaro. I am Samuel Olanio, and joining me today in the studio is our current affair analyst, and also he is the publisher of Resort Magazine, Mr. Simon Fakeye. Welcome to the program, sir.
Good day, good weekend.
All right, sir. And I'm sure you really enjoying the weather so far. It's been raining for some days now.
Yes, we don't have options than to accept whatever our creator decides to do.
To us.
Of course, it's refreshing.
All right, very refreshing weekend. Let's get straight to it. Today we have the Daily Trust newspaper, we have the Punch, we have the Vanguard, the Guardian, as well as the Nigerian Tribune newspaper to review this day. Let's start with the Daily Trust newspaper. Daily Trust, on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper, the former MINEC chairman 2027, ahead of the elections 2027, Jega seeks amendments to Electoral Act. Professor Atairu Jega seek amendments to Electoral Act. That can be found on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. A lot of people are beginning to question this man's stance concerning his request, and they're just saying, why did you not clamor for these? Why you spent, I think it was one of the longest serving INEC chair, if I'm not mistaken, and then you're now clamoring for electoral amendment at this point in time. What's your take on this, sir?
Okay, well, that's been the trend of because I will refer to him now as politician.
Exactly.
Yes.
It is not an ambassador now or something.
Oh, you see. Exactly. So it is when they are out of office that they come to terms with the reality. What I refer to as reality. Some of his requests, those areas that need amendment, some are good, some are not. But as you said, it is better. He had brought this around when he was in office, just to ensure that things go the way it should go. But now that he's suggesting it, fine. I check some of those areas, the items that he wants the federal government or the National Assembly to look into. Some of them have to do with the independence of the INEC. INEC should not be an agency that the leadership will be determined solely by Mr. President. Yes, he has spoken well. It's only that with our structure and the type of democracy we are practicing in Nigeria, I'm not sure that will be possible. Then another issue is that of dividing INEC into two, whereby our normal INEC, the regular INEC, will be handling just conducting elections and announcing results. The issue of a screening candidate and all of that should be given to another body. Well, that to me may need to be discussed and perused properly to know, is it going to be advantageous? Then another issue is that of, which to me is good, if it can be considered, is that has to do with the politicians, the elected politicians or political office holders.
Okay.
For instance, the National Assembly members, yes, even the governors, to prohibit them from the campaign after election. So I look into it. It has both advantage and advantage. The advantage is that, yes, if they can be barred from cross-carpeting, maybe that will bring about a kind of sanity into the system. But another area where I think is not proper is that, in this scenario, where we have a ruling, for example, ruling party not doing well, and an elected officer who believes that what the ruling party is doing is not good, that there's need for him to go to another party where he believes that their manifesto is in alignment with his. So there should be provision for such move. So it's about 50-50, but I think in it all, maybe it should be allowed not to stand. It should be banned. Cross-carpeting should be banned. I mean, from my present situational opinion. So, but we have to look at the time frame. Do we still have that time for all that Professor Jaga is bringing about now? This is less than 6 months. And the Electoral Act says everything about the general election must have been completed by 6 months to the election. So going back and forth will not help us. So I will say that if there's anything to be taken into consideration from all his suggestions, maybe after the election.
All right. Thank you for that insight concerning the opinion of the former chairman of INEC, Professor Atairu Jega. And still move to the world of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. On the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, quite an interesting story from the federal government. Federal government to review minimum wage. That's coming from the Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila. It says 70,000 naira not in tune with current economic realities. It's beginning to dawn on politicians now that the 70,000 minimum wage is nothing in this current economic realities of this current Nigeria. From your own perspective, do you think are they beginning to just wake up because it's very close to election, or are these election gimmicks? What's your take?
It is both. It is election gimmicks, and it is because election is drawing near. To me, I will not support. You see, this increment is election gimmick, as you have put it, because we know what is hurting. We know the real challenge, that is about the increment in essential commodities, in the prices of essential commodities, like the price of gas, cooking gas, the price of PMS, the price of diesel. So when the three items has been increased radically, you are now negotiating on how much now as minimum wage. So instead of government paying additional or increasing the salary, the minimum wage, why can't they reduce the price of the three source of energy so that transportation fare will reduce, the cooking gas for the masses will be affordable? If they increase it, the highest they can do is 100,000, additional 30. If look at the cooking gas can sweep away that 30,000 in a month with the way things are going. Transportation fare can get rid of that from the money, from the way. So everything will just be back to square zero. So why I can sympathize, or yes, express the same feelings with the workers. My suggestion to federal government, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is that please do something reasonable and tangible about the price of cooking gas for the general masses. Do something tangible, reasonable about the pump price and that of diesel. Otherwise, the increment will be nothing in value.
All right. I think that's a very cogent opinion, suggestions you've given to the federal government. Let's hope they will take to that advice. Let's really look at the Guardian newspaper today. The Guardian newspaper, on the front page of the Guardian, it's quite a sarcastic, poser on the front page. For service or sanctuary, posers over ex-governors push for legislative seats. And also, it has this text that says, for some ex-governors The journey doesn't end; it just changes. And we have some graphic content on that image that says governor's office after 8 years of powers and privileges, protocols, and then control. They also intend to move to their next chapter, and that's legislative control of security, allowances, influence, and also relevance. We've seen a lot of governors after spending 8 years in office, they seems to want to to cross into the National Assembly. We've seen that with the former governor of Ogun State, Governor Benga Daniel, the current governor of the state, and I think maybe for some few states like Lagos State, we don't have such occurrences. From your own perspective, do you think we're just recycling politicians? Is there no need for us to get new breeds of young minds, young people? Must you finish 8 years as a governor and intend to go spend another 12 years, sometimes 8 years, some 16 years at the State Assembly or the National Assembly?
Sometimes ago we have a related headline here. Yes, I don't support the idea. Every governor must finish his term and return home. Yes, I don't support the idea of them going to the National Assembly. And I'm happy you mentioned Lagos State. There is something that differentiates Lagos State from all other states in Nigeria. And that is what I would suggest that should be applicable, obtainable in every state. And that is a situation where there is party leadership. The party leaders taking or determining the fate of the government of states. So you are right about the Lagos State government that you mentioned. What we observed or what has taken place in Ogun State, if what we heard from the Senate president is not going to happen, that the final decision on senatorial tickets will be determined at the Aso Rock. It seems it's not going to see the light of the day. So if what has taken place concerning the senatorial tickets has been the final decision, well, you can't see that happening in Lagos State because there is structure in Lagos State which is absent in all other states. Lagos State is being governed by the governor, and the governor is being controlled, let me use that word, by the party leaders, which I think they call them GAC or GAC. So Governor Sanwo-Olu cannot just wake up today and do whatever he likes. No. The GAC will react, and their decision must prevail. So in every other state, I would suggest that the party leadership should come to the fore. All the governors, even Mr. President, should return to the seat, being the administrator. But the entire leadership must be returned again to the party leaders, so that there will be manifestos to be followed. You know, party must have manifesto. It is the manifesto that will be guiding whoever is elected to be the governor or the president, so that there will be check and balances. Oh, Your Excellency, you've not done this. Your Excellency, you've derailed. This is not so. But in a situation where the governor or the president is the leader of the party, automatically become the leader of the entire state or the nation, then they become the demigod that can do and undo. So for the governors retiring to the National Assembly, I don't support it. I'm looking for a situation whereby it will be rejected, discouraged in every manner. Even the Electoral Act must have, the essence of the Electoral Act must have bring about such prohibition that no governor should vie for any position while still in office. You don't become a judge in your own case. It's not done. So as to the implication on Nigerians, it's going to be very bad. These people are not going to be active anymore. The rigorous, the stress of governing for 8 years is enough. It will definitely take toll on their life. So they can't have that energy again. That physique is gone. So they will be going there to sleep. They won't have enough time to to do what is expected of a lawmaker. So, of course, they have that experience. But I think we have to give that experience to members of the National Assembly who have been there two, three times. So far, let there be a revision or review of our Electoral Act, whereby the incumbent office holders, like governors, should not be allowed to contest for senatorial ticket while still in office,
and vice versa also.
And vice versa. It doesn't sound logical. It's ridiculous to the senses of Nigerians.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that insight. Quickly, let's look at the Punch newspaper. 36 speakers backstage, please. Final test begins. And also, speakers vow to prioritize state police bill as assemblies brace for debate. Also, our state new police bill act. New state police bill broadens police council, admit MBA, NLC, right panel others. Also, Halia commends National Assembly over passage of state police bill as Kano Assembly meets governor. A lot of back and forth concerning the state policing bill. We don't have much time. In just 1 minute, I want you to give us what your final suggestions to the National Assembly concerning ways and manner to handle the state police bill.
Well, they've done well by including the civil organizations, unlike before, where it is solely by the IG, the governors, and all of that. But now, NBA have been allowed, civil organizations have been allowed, labor has been allowed. So that is going to bring about a balanced house for, even if governors are going to misbehave, I think these civil societies will be able to kind of bring in about check and balances. But for the state police, well, still now, it's not what I want to happen. You see, it's not a solution. So there's nothing I can do about it, and there's nothing some people like us can do. It has been approved, but the fact remains that this is not going to be the solution. The national police itself doesn't have enough manpower. We can see what is happening to local government autonomy. We can see what is happening to the local security outfits, whereby they cannot maintain them. The expenses, infrastructure to put police into proper operation, how I wish they will get it right. But the way it is, let's pray Nigeria get it right.
All right,
because of our time.
All right, let's pray Nigeria get it right. It's been 2 months of the abduction of school pupils in Oyo State, and we're still asking questions concerning their whereabouts. Let's hope that the Nigerian government finds solution to that abduction, and those pupils and teachers also can get back to their families after their love. And that will be all on newspaper review and analysis on Poly TV Ilaro. Thank you, Mr. Simon Fakeye, for coming on the program today.
My pleasure.
I remain Samuel Olanino, and thanks for watching Poly TV Newspaper Review and Analysis. Thank you, and bye for now.